The President of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker and your wife, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, the Church, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I got married to Keith on the 8th, not 9th of December 1990. God blessed us with the 3 children you've just seen, Sima Itabaza, Nehuma Zaire, and Noah Inembabazi. A week after our wedding, Keith flew to Washington to attend World Bank meetings. On return, after 2 weeks, he had no wedding ring. This puzzled me. I asked him what had happened. He told me he didn't know. I was confused. I waited for a week, then another. He was not bothered about the lost ring. Then later, I learned that it was not the ring as a symbol of commitment, but the heart. And Keith has lived to this. The Lord who united us on the 8th of December 1990 and ended this commitment on 13th this month is testimony to Keith's innocence in losing the ring. I think it just got lost. Up to now, I've never known why, what happened. As my daughter mentioned, Keith was stubborn sometimes. But in his stubbornness, people around him would feel warm about this stubbornness. Sometimes he would just decide to annoy you, but tickling you to engage you and get more out of you. And that was cleverness to me. I've enjoyed some deep understanding of Keith throughout his sickness because he told me more about his family, his friends, and I got to understand him more. Before, he was this person immersed in his work. He's a workaholic. He was our workaholic, as you all know. And I would get scared sometimes whether my children would ever enjoy him because work was above family to him. But he would try to come in the shortest time possible, talk to his children about education, which he cherished so much, hard work, which he was there. I don't know what I should call it. He was a leading example. And he would trust me, but then task me to be more hardworking, more involved in even issues I was not enjoying, like football, politics. He would sometimes ask me to wait for them as they enjoyed their Liverpool match with his daughter, then would ask me to either support or just cheer them as they enjoyed their match. So somehow I got to know the players of Liverpool, then the club transfers. So it was, and we shall miss it, we shall miss it. But in hospital, he had time to check on which team was playing, what was happening around the world. One of the things he cherished most was international support. Whether it is economics, whether it is wars in in Ukraine and Russia. Then he would zero to the last news in Ubuyanja, Chitojo. He would follow, call his uncle, who is here, Mr. Karakukayo, what would be happening there. He was a good reader. He loved reading. One of his best hobbies was reading and watching sports, as the daughter mentioned. He loved cows, he loved nature. If you read the tribute of one of our sons, Noah, he mentioned him going to the cows every time he went to Lyantonde, and he would be just this ordinary person, putting on boots with his stick, walking miles around the farm, and that's how he got his joy. I always wondered, he worked hard, gave so much to so many, to the country, but didn't mind about his own happiness in terms of like taking holidays with his family. But he found comfort in going to Lyantonde every 2 weeks. That is before he fell sick. But on his 60th birthday, which we shall ever cherish, we booked Kidepo National Park to celebrate it without him knowing. As he was just going to step out of the house, Your Excellency, my aunt here, Rosette Biengoma, called him. He said, Keith, we have to go to State House. We are needed there. We were just about to get out of the house. He was carrying his hand luggage. He said, now, Janet, what do I do? Continue and go, I'll find you there. Then I asked him, we are celebrating your birthday, which you didn't know, so we can't go. Somehow, I asked him, Keith, why don't you call a colleague and delegate? Once in a while, it can happen. He didn't want to miss your meetings, His Excellency. Then he sat, all the children were already excited. Luckily, he listened to me. And this is the last birthday we enjoyed with him in the wilderness. You will see the pictures in the order of service. When we got there, because he enjoys cows, he enjoyed looking at these numerous, elephants. I'd never seen elephants in those numbers. Over a stretch of flat land, too many. Then the lions, which were always near us, but harmless. He talked about that experience for like a month, and I was happy that he enjoyed. For once, he had time to enjoy outside work, because work to him was happiness, was service, was everything. With Keith, I've learned so many things. I've learned to be patient. Patience. I saw Keith patient in strife of pain, but he was patient and hopeful. He was a very positive person. Once he believed in something, he made sure that the end result was good. It's unfortunate that he had faith in this treatment and he's not with us, but that was God's plan. And we thank God for the time we have enjoyed with him. Your Excellency, I wish to thank you so much for the opportunity you have accorded Keith in his service to this country. He enjoyed work. It exposed him beyond Uganda. He always bragged and told his children that he's achieved all this because of hard work and trust in him by his nation, by his leaders. Your Excellency, we are so grateful. And I believe the children will take lessons from this, because he enjoyed work, worked hard, went beyond the nation, made friends, proved himself as a Ugandan. We've been getting tributes from beyond Uganda. Some colleagues who were expatriates at finance more than 20 years ago, they were still calling us and even checking on him when he was still sick. That's friendship, not only to family, but to our country, Uganda. We thank him for so many things. Your Excellency, I wish to thank you for the service he rendered this country for so many years. He was not special. There are many hardworking people out there. But Keith served for a long time at Ministry of Finance especially. That's where he built his career. That's where he grew through all the ranks of public service. We thank you, and I thank his colleagues. I wish to mention here a few. He had these few friends whom they built their career together. They went for further studies together. They served in different capacities together. These are people like Mr. Damon Chitabire, Dr. Louis Kasekende, Madam Mary Muduri, who is now retired and in Canada. Kenneth Mugamba. Mugambe is, that one is a recent one, but there are those old ones like Chris Kasami, and somehow we became family. Finance had that thing of like, it was like family. There is Charles Biarhanga, you know. We thank God, we have family around us. We are not scared. Keith was fortunate to have all this. So we believe, we shall miss him, but we believe we are okay. And we are happy that the nation can honor him through your leadership, through your decision to honor him. This honor, we can't take it for granted, Mr. President. We thank you so much. I cherish that phone call I received from you. Ekampumuluza, if I may speak this in Unyankoli. Ekampumuluza yatumuluza twena. Who am I? For His Excellency to be touched, and he's a symbol of a nation. And then these tributes, which we have read in the order of service, some were received on our phone call, on our phones, on our handsets, calls. Keith did a lot that we feel, I don't know if we can ever maybe create more than what he did for us, even as a greater family of the Kajurenje family. But there is a lot we have learned from Keith. And when I was, what hurt me, a week before he could not talk, he told me about his relatives. One of them was his late grandfather. This was a brother to his grandfather, Canon. If I may mention, in our culture, we don't mention our in-laws' names, especially the senior ones. This is Canon Rakatogoro's brother called Mabote. So he told me about him, how he shifted from Rujumba and went to Nyabshodzi, then died a few years ago, how his family is there. Then he told me about one of the old ladies who just passed away about 2 weeks ago, unfortunately. And then I wondered why all that came to his mind at that particular time. Maybe God wanted me to know more about his relatives so that the children get to understand more their identity. Because I didn't know that his late grandfather had a brother, because I had never seen him. But he told me about him. Then another thing that he told me about, he said, excuse me. He first asked me that he wanted to tell me something. I said, what is this? He kept quiet. A week passed, but he was becoming unwell, but still talking. And then he said, I have prepared for my children, but make sure you give them they still need guidance. On this note, I wish to reassure Noah. Noah got so scared, thinking that if the dad passed on, he would not continue school. But I remember, Your Excellency, I even mentioned it to you. Keith was such a good planner. I remember 20 years ago, we created an account for school fees for our children. That was for only university education when they were still in O-level. So Noah, be rest assured that you'll complete university education, go for postgrad if you want, and maybe other further studies you'd like to pursue. I wish to thank the country for the support, the love you've shown to us. The week we've spent in Milan, our home has been flooded by people from all walks of life, his former colleagues, his friends, most of them, people he met because of his offices at OPM and the Ministry of Finance, those he helped, not necessarily colleagues. We thank God for your love and support. In this, we get comfort and encouragement to continue his legacy, to emulate his good deeds, and to always remember him in a special way. We want to thank the church. Church, you have been there for us in a special way. Every day, for the vigils, there's been church, changing clergy. Who are we? We thank God for that. We'd like to thank friends. I would like to mention a few friends here. Mrs. Dora Cabonero, she's a relative to Keith. She flew in from London to be with us in Milan before Dennis and my daughter arrived. Bob called me and asked me, Janet, you are alone. Please, you can't stay alone and bank on those that are coming, that are planning coming. Dora is near you. Let Dora come. I said thank you. Bob, I thank you for advising me. Dora did a lot to stabilize me before Dennis and Catherine came. When Dora arrived and we went to see Keith, he was already in ICU. Keith used to call her, fondly call her Princess. So when we entered the room, I said, Keith, Keith. He would hear, but he would not talk. Princess is here. He tried to get his head off the pillow. And then Dora spoke to him, said, Keith, Neja, Ndiaha. Then Keith smiled. And he started moving his legs. We asked him whether he had pain. He said yes. Dora asked him which leg was hurting. He said the right one. He raised it because he couldn't mention. And we were full of hope. By the time Dennis came, we knew Keith was getting better. But that was the last smile we saw of Keith. We thank you, Bob and Dora, for that. We cherish that happiness, that expression. It's stuck on my mind. It will always be etched on my mind. I thank friends and relatives. You've been there for us. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Aunt May is not here, but she came home this morning and prayed with us. I thank you so much, Mr. Ben Kavui and Barbara, for taking up the responsibility of organizing the home, coordinating all this. We thank you so much. I would like to thank you, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Our relatives and friends have been at your office almost every day. We can't take it for granted, and you opened your office to them. I wish to thank some true relatives in a special way. Priska and Anne, I disturbed you, I called you, I asked you to do this, that, and you were there for us when we were still in Milan and even after we had come back. Thank you so much. I know your relationship with Keith. In the family, you're the ones who started the big brother thing. All the cousins, sisters call Keith big brother. And I'm happy that he has lived to prove to be a big brother. Please live with that as we condole. We also feel sorry for all of you. I thank you, Charles Mhozi, but I have a way I joke with Mr. Charles Mhozi. I normally call him. May I mention it, please? Okay, let me leave it. I wish to thank you, Charles. I wish to thank you, Ebo. Ebo saw us through part of the phase of sickness in Turkey. The year we spent in Turkey without coming back home, half of it we spent with Ebo. But Ebo, your engagement with Keith in your discussions and debates about the economy, about politics, brought some happiness to Keith. He had company. They would talk about their relatives, their early childhood, all sorts of things, and that made life easier for Keith. Thank you so much. I wish to thank Dennis in a special way. Dennis, when I called you and asked you to come to help, you didn't hesitate. I thank you for that. Thank you so much. And your coming created a lot of difference. And my children knew that they had a parent in you who responded to their mother's call. Thank you so much. I wish to thank the Kajwenje family for standing with us. It's not this time that we have gone through tough times, even in Turkey. As Nehum mentioned, Julius was there for Nehum and Dennis. We thank you so much. In a special way, His Excellency, Your Excellency, I would like to thank Professor Vadzeo. Professor Vadzeo is a special human being. Once he is committed to a relationship, he gives it his all. His all. He has been so helpful. since we started this journey of cancer treatment in Turkey till now. We thank you so, so much. Your Excellency, I would like to thank one of our friends, Madam Enrica Pinet. She helped us while in Italy. While in hospital, the time we spent in that room which has special air where you are not supposed to step out, she tasked her personal assistant to send us supplies until I got out when Keith had moved to the ICU. This was over a month. We thank Madame Enrica so much. I wish to thank the funeral service providers. I wish to thank all the service providers like Amagara at home in Bugolobi who have been there for a whole week. I wish to thank my in-law, Mr. James Kahoza and Aunt Grace, my in-law, Uncle Nathan, my uncle, Uncle Ben. Thank you for coming and being with us, standing with us as parents, reassuring us, encouraging us. We thank you so much. I wish to take this opportunity to thank my own family, my brothers, my sisters. Thank you so much for standing with us, for checking on the children. A week before Keith passed on, when things were getting tough, my brothers would visit my children almost on a daily basis, talking to them, and Professor Mazeyo. I think that did a lot to stabilize them. I thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'd like to end by thanking God, church. May I use this celebration of Keith's life for a thanksgiving, for a well-lived life, for standing with us through this, and for giving us such a rich life as a couple. Keith and I had a special relationship. We understood each other. When we had just got married, I was annoyed because I used to tell him, I'm married to your job. You didn't marry me. But later I understood that I had to take up what he likes to be married properly to him. And that was a life lesson which helped me to go through all this for the 30 plus years I've spent with Keith. I thank God for giving me the energy to nurse Keith. It was not easy because Keith also, as you have already mentioned, he's stubborn sometimes. He can decide that he doesn't feel pain when he has it, yet he needs medicine for it. He may overwork the body because he wants to exercise. He loved being fit, but he would overwork himself and even get problems out of that. So we would always argue sometimes, but I thank God that we would agree after. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to stop here. Thank you for listening to me.